Hello and welcome to another episode of Practice Perfection. My name is Kit Mills, and today we're wrapping up our exploration over the last several lessons of the accent grid as a framework for practicing different techniques. If you're not sure what the accent grid is, go back and watch episode Beta19, which goes over it in detail. But today we're going to look at how to replace the accents with open hi-hat plus bass drum hits, closing the hi-hat on the following 16th note. It's a very, very cool way to practice. It's a great technique to have, and it's one I'm still trying to get better at myself. Here's the first 4 bars of the accent grid. And what we're going to do is we're going to replace those accents with open hi-hat plus bass drum. Like so. So the first measure becomes this. The key part here is first the hi-hat gets hit while open along with the bass drum right on that accent. And then you close it at the same time as you're hitting the next snare drum hit. So that's kind of the coordination stuff going on. Now there are a couple parts during the accent grid where we're going to have a couple hi-hats in a row. Every time we come around from the to the beginning again. So for those, leave it open for both hits and then close it on the following 16th note. So like that. All right, let's try this out. Let's do it first very slowly here along with the metronome. At 60 beats per minute, and we'll go about this fast. 1 E and 2 E and just the first 4 bars. 2 and 3 and go. Now to the E. 1 E. That's the bass drum along with the left hand. Now the and. And the right, left, right, back to the left hand. And here if we repeat, that's how that would work, getting 2 open hi-hats in a row before closing it on the E of the beat. All right, let's go ahead and bump it up a little bit. Same deal, just the first 4 bars. 1, 2, ready, go. Now the E, and then it closes on the and here. Now the and closes on the and the of the beat, and it closes on the beat, except here. Now let's go a little faster. Just the first 4 bars again. 1 E and ready, go. And that's the idea. Now what we're going to do is we're going to apply this along with the entire accent grid, and we'll go ahead and go slightly faster. So if you find this to be a little too fast, feel free to go back later on and practice it at a slower speed that's comfortable for you. And that's, of course, always how you want to work on these things. Make sure that they're comfortable for you initially. That's practicing perfection, practicing feeling at ease with it. So I'm going to back it up now to 60 beats per minute, and I'm going to change this. So we're going to be playing 16ths along with it, but it's going to be the beat and also the and of the beat on the click. So 1 E and 2 E and the whole accent grid. Here we go. 1, 2, 3 E and 4 E and now 2. Repeat. Now one each. Repeat. Now 2 more times. Okay, and we're just doing 1 time through for right now, but I would encourage you on your own time, do it at least a couple times through, and again, make sure you find an easy speed. You could make it easier on yourself as well, especially if you find yourself having trouble knowing when to close that get that left foot closing down. You can put the metronome on 16th notes, and then you'll really hear all the subdivisions. Just for fun, as we go to the next tempo, 70 beats per minute, I'll change the metronome so that we're hearing 16ths. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. I'm going to put the metronome back to 8th notes. So I'm going to now go up to 80 beats per minute. Let's try it again. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Now a little faster, 90 beats per minute. Okay, here we go. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. And finally, we'll finish up with 100 beats per minute. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. All right, well, working through that one makes me realize I could stand to practice that one a little bit more. My left foot balance especially feels a little off. Part of it is I'm wearing a very slick sock right now, and it's just sliding up and down this very smooth pedal I've got. But this is great. This will really kind of expose where you're comfortable and where you're not. And if you can get this one down, you're going to be in great shape for using these open hi-hats in kind of funk type patterns and just, you know, as a really cool way of enhancing your 16th notes as you play around the drum set. And of course, it could go faster. It could also be enhanced even further by doing things like playing double strokes on the snare drum the whole time. So that would give you something like this. And so on. And finally, since this is the last of the lessons that we have been looking at the accent grid, I want to suggest too, once you've kind of worked through these and you're getting comfortable, even if it's not at a crazy fast speed, one thing you might do is if you've got a couple of these different ways of playing the accent grid really stuck in your head, start to switch around back and forth between the different types, whether it's crash cymbals or tom hits or flams or double strokes or these open hi-hats, whatever it may happen to be, or even just plain vanilla accents. And try getting some, familiarity, switching back and forth between the different ways of playing it. And it's just a really cool way to expand your playing vocabulary. So again, Accent Grid, very useful pattern in its own right, but an excellent framework for exploring all these different things, including the open hi-hat and bass drum that we did today. So I hope that was helpful for you. If you have any questions or comments you'd like to share, please feel free to post them down in the comments section below. You can also contact me on my website, kitmills.com, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you have there as well. If you liked the video, I encourage you to click the like button, and if you haven't already done so, I would like to ask you to subscribe to this channel too. That'll be the best way to hear of upcoming videos and streams and all sorts of stuff. So thank you so much for watching, and until next time, keep on drumming and make sure you're practicing perfection. All right, see ya.